Hey, it's Lux. I'm going to do a multi-part kind of overview tutorial of this amazing piece of software. It's by New Sonic Arts and it's called Freestyle. I don't believe it's getting the press that it deserves, so that's why I felt like I needed to share at least what I've been experiencing with it. It's very easy to use, it breathes new life into your VSTs, and it turns everything you own into a giant Lego set for you to play with. There are many uses for it, but today I'm going to focus in on using it as an instrument rack. And you're probably thinking, hey, I've been able to use instrument racks in Ableton Live. They have something like that in Bitwig. You can do stacks in Logic. You can add folders in Reaper. And any other DAW has some type of approach to this, I'm sure. Freestyle is something special. I believe it will exceed your expectations. So let's take a peek. When you open Freestyle for the first time, it flies through your VST folder, scanning and taking a thumbnail picture of each. Now, it does this really fast. They're organized in a list by manufacturer, and this is one of the first things that shines with Freestyle. You can see the plugins. I have a lot of plugins I purchased over the years, and you forget about some, and I've dusted off plenty. Okay, I'm getting distracted here. You're presented with this workspace called the structure view. Now there's another workspace that we're going to get into in another video, but I want to focus on this one because it's super cool. Now let's build a simple instrument. So I'm going to go through my library here and let's just pick the Arturia SEM V2. Okay, now you can see everything has been connected. The circles represent MIDI and the squares are audio. Now the MIDI is controlling the instrument, and you can see that there's a single stereo out that leads to the output row at the very bottom. Just think of these as wires, and you can disconnect them and hook them up in any input or output. So let's do that. Another way to get access to your instruments and your effects is by right-clicking on the workspace. There's also effects that come with Freestyle, and you'll find those in the list as well. So let's add the G-Force Oddity, and you'll see that it wires it up, places it next to the VST that we've added, and a small mixer has appeared. In addition to a mixer that's been added, you can create key zones. So it's very flexible. You see that I can adjust to the specific area on the keyboard I would like that instrument to play in. The mixer is simple. Depending on how many things you have connected to it, you'll have channels that represent those. There's a master, you can mute, and you can pan. All right, there you know the basics, and I believe you can already see how the visual approach Freestyle brings is conjuring up ideas you might not have thought of with the traditional DAW instrument rack. I found a good preset here. We're going to layer these two together, and let me move over to Oddity. Yeah, this should work nicely. And together, they complement each other nicely. I've added Hybrid 3 by Air, and it's a perfect synth for layering, really inexpensive too. And here's the three of them together. So now it's time to add effects. You see the little square down here that represents the output. You right click on that, you're going to be presented with this list. At the top, you see the plugins that come with New Sonic Arts, Freestyle, and then there are your plugins in the list below. So I'm going to go down in the list and just choose the free EQ from Tokyo Dawn Labs. If I just click on the thumbnail, it's going to bring the interface up. In this case, I'm just going to use the Slick EQ for low cut. All right, now I'm going to insert a crossfade that comes with Freestyle, and I'm going to put that between the Oddity and then Hybrid 3. So you can see it here. I'm going to just disconnect this wire. I'm then going to drag it from Hybrid 3 over to the input here in the crossfade. And it does as you would expect. I'll just crossfade between the two. So now I'm going to add an effect after the oddity, and let me go in here and I'll just choose something. How about Echo Boy from Sound Toys? So now I'm going to add an effect after Hybrid 3. So let's right click, go down to Sound Toys, and then I'll choose Crystallizer. Why not? All right, so far so good. Going further here, I'm going to add another mixer between Oddity and Echo Boy, and yet another between Oddity and the mixer we just added. So taking a look at this, I've added 2 mixers in series. So I'm going to go down to one of them and disconnect it. I'm going to run another wire from Oddity. So now it's split into 2 parallel mixers. One goes into the Echo Boy and one I will add an effect. And for the sake of this example, I'll add the Slate's virtual mix rack and then just pick a couple effects from within. All right, so far so good. I haven't broken anything, but take a look at this and you'll see now that I have put 2 effects in parallel coming out of the Oddity. And so the patch is sounding okay. For this example, it's fine. See rainbows and unicorns about now. If you're wondering what I'm doing off to the right, well, I'm using the snapshot feature, which is incredibly cool and really useful. I'm not going to get into it in this video. I will in another, and it's really worth exploring. So I want to give it the time it deserves. So let's wrap this up, and I'm going to throw in Microtonic from Sonic Charge. You can see that it's automatically been added to the mixer down below. All's been wired up. Routing plugins with multiple outs can be really difficult depending on what DAW you're using. But take a look at this. They're all right there for me to wire up any way that I choose. So what I can do right here is I'll actually create another mixer. Now I can right click on this mixer and begin to add channels. It's super easy. Now I'll just count through, use my terrible math skills here. Look, and I can begin to easily wire these up. All right, so here's the mixer. I can pan, I can adjust levels, everything's represented here, and it just took seconds to wire up. All right, so why stop there? I can right click on one of these channels and insert an effect. So let's just go use one of Freestyle's. We'll just do the bit crusher. Again, only for the sake of this example. Probably isn't the best choice. All right, well, let me add an effect here. Let me go up to New Sonic Arts again, and we'll just add the reverb. And for whatever reason, I'm putting it on the kick, but hey. I've obviously just barely scratched the surface with this. There's so much you can do with this plugin. It's not intimidating when you really begin to work with it. The very fact I can do the multiple outs the way you saw in Microtonic, easily add and do parallel and serial type effects chains. This is a standalone app that you can use in live performances. It's a VST. You can use this as an effects unit. I really look forward to sharing with you a whole bunch of other cool stuff that you can do with this in future videos. So thank you so much for watching.